Hey, what's up? What's happening? Hey, Leon Thomas here, and in this video, I'm going to actually give you my official Family First Life overview, right? So, is FFL a scam? Otherwise known as Family First Life. So, if you are an insurance agent and you're actually looking to make a move, or you're looking to get your license and you're trying to find out which place is going to be the best place for you to actually do business, that's going to put you in the best position to win. In this video, I'm going to actually cover all the details around Family First Life, my comparison, my analysis, and my review in comparison FFL to other I.M.Os. We can see exactly what's going on, what's going to make the best sense, what's going to put you, the agent, in the best position to win, and to put your agents in the best position to win at the same time, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into this, right? So I'm gonna kind of give basically just an analysis of like everyone else versus FFL, right? So I got my iPad here, so I'm kind of over the details here. So let's pretty much kind of come here with it. So let's just go everyone else versus Family First Life, right? Everyone else versus Family First Life. So basically, the I.M.O. was founded by Sean Mike. Now, Sean Mike actually was a insurance agent. He has a life insurance agent. They actually founded the company in 2013. So this is about a 7-year-old company. And what Sean Mike did was he issued over $800,000 in a calendar year on his own pen. And then, of course, his whole goal was to build an army of agents whose bank accounts was bigger than any other I.M.O. or insurance company in the industry, basically. So what Mark Cuban did was, or what Sean Mike did was, he actually took Mark Cuban's advice. Basically, if you guys know who Mark Cuban is, Mark Cuban basically said, anytime he goes into an industry, what he does is he assesses that industry, he surveys the industry, and he looks to see what everybody else is doing, and he does the exact opposite. And it might sound kind of crazy, but that's where we get the word rogue I.M.O. So if you've seen Family First Life online, you hear people talking about rogue I.M.O., it just means that they just go left when everybody else is going right, right? And that's really, in most cases, people think that it doesn't work or it's counterintuitive, but the whole idea behind it is if you're doing what everybody else is doing, then you're going to get the same results as everybody else, but you can actually do something different, stand out, be unique, and actually do better, right? And so what Sean Mike did was he said he wanted to do the complete opposite of what most I.M.Os were doing. And I'm going to show you in this video exactly what most I.M.Os are doing, right? So Sean Mike was not some guy who just wanted to build a company so he can sit back and collect a bunch of commissions. He actually did the work first. So he's actually practicing what he preached, of course, and he pretty much has paved the way for the average agent, newbie, or seasoned agents that are not happy where they're at to come in and actually to produce just tremendous results in record time. So basically what we're going to cover here is what's the difference between Family First Life and everybody else, right? So for those who don't know, there's a lot of I.M.Os out there, network marketing life insurance companies versus I.M.Os. I'm going to kind of cover both of them right here. So basically, if we want to do a comparison to what the difference is, basically, let's take a look at most of your other I.M.Os pretty much are paying anywhere between 25 to 40% comp, and they max out at about 110, right? This is where most I.M.Os are. A lot of agents out there, in most cases, are actually maybe at like a 40%, maybe 55% comp. You got to sell a whole lot of life insurance to make a lot of money to walk away from your job, right? Well, Family First Life actually starts you off at 80%, and they actually have the industry's highest up to 145% comp. So this is where one of the reasons, or one of the areas I should say, as far as the business model goes, where Family First Life completely separated themselves from everybody else in the industry. Most of your companies out there are trying to keep most of the money for themselves, and they're not really trying to award the agent who does most of the work with the best compensation, right? So most of your companies out there, 25 to 40%, if you're at this level right here, you're not at the income level you want, you probably need to take a look at some different opportunities for yourself so you can put yourself and your agency in a better position to win. 145% comp is the industry's highest out there, hands down. That's one of the differences, of course. Let's look at another difference. Let's talk about renewals, right? Renewals are basically, most of the other companies right now, you got to be in that company for like 5 to 10 years before they even give you your renewals, right? So, you've got to tell the business, but you won't see the benefits on the back end until year 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever, right? After your 5 years, right? You don't even touch that money. The company gets all that money the first 5 years, and after that, they give you the rest, right? not really necessarily a good thing. But let's go ahead and do a comparison. Well, with Family First Life, you're actually vested day one. So you get those renewals like day one. So as soon as you start with the company, you actually are vested day one, right? So that's one of the other biggest differences, okay? Number three, let's look at income. Now the average income for the average, most of these other I.M.Os, everyone else, is roughly about $43,000 a year, right? Now none of us actually got into this industry to make $43,000 a year, right? At least not if you're if you're not full time. Part time, maybe. Most of your part time agents can do about 75 to 80. But no one got into this industry to make small money. We understand the power of the industry, the income level, the unlimited income potential. And so if you're at this level here, it's probably obviously because of a number of factors, okay? But the average agent at Family First Life is at, I need a dollar sign, is at $115,000, right? Which is huge, right? That's the average income of an agent at Family First Life, right? So the average is $115,000. Let's talk about training, right? Now, I've been around a lot of business opportunities over the years, and what's crazy is that, a lot of these companies, they actually want to pay, they want to charge you for training. And what happens is it ends up being outdated, right? In most cases, none of this stuff is practical. It's like old stuff. They're not really adapting to what's happening in the marketplace. They're not really putting agents in a position to win because the market's always changing for the most part. There's a lot of things that stay the same, but there are things that change, and we have to be able to adapt to those things, right? We'll talk a little bit more about this here in a minute. But a lot of the training is outdated, and in most cases, it's from people that are not necessarily in the field doing it now. Like they've done this stuff years ago, and so you don't have a whole lot of people that are actually doing it now that are teaching it from a level of they're actually doing it, right? They're like telling you what to do, but they're not doing it, which is crazy, right? Because in most of us, we always want to learn from someone that's in the act of doing, like they're doing it, not someone that did it years ago. We want to learn from people that are actually doing it right now, because if we're learning from people that did something 5, 10 years ago, it may or may not be applicable today, right? So what's the difference between Family First Life, of course? Well, only 20K a month producers actually can teach, right? Excuse my handwriting, right? So in order to be a trainer or to get on any training calls, Facebook Lives, YouTube, podcast, you actually have to produce 20K in a month, right? Which means you're actually doing it. You're in the act of it. So you actually are, you're able to teach, which means you're doing it, right? You're reputable, right? You're in the act of doing the biggest point is you're in the act of doing it, so you're teaching from application, not from just some head knowledge and you're trying to look cool, right? That's huge, right? So you're learning from people that are actually in the field right now, they're currently actively doing, okay? The next thing we're going to look at is leads, right? Now leads, as you know, is the lifeblood of the business, right? And what happens with a lot of these older companies, they're older leads, right? They're very expensive. They have old strategies, right? And also, they want you just to reach out to family members and friends. And as you know, none of us have enough family members and friends to build a sustainable business model, right? So a lot of these other business models, these other I.M.Os, their business model is an older model on leads, right? So very few of them are actually learning like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, internet live leads, right? They're not really adapting to a lot of the social media stuff. As you can see online, if you look, Family First Life is, looking like they're separating themselves from the competition, meaning that they're becoming very, very attractive to the average person. And the reason why is because they're giving more value than everyone else. They've adapted to social media. They've adapted to the new wave of marketing. They've adapted to the whole market, what's going on, and they're primed to just grow. And more importantly, they're just becoming more attractive to people, right? Like it has the free training, all the training you need, and it's all free, right? Which is crazy. So these other I.M.Os, it's all mostly old leads, or they usually run out of leads. I mean, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of agents talk about the fact that their company didn't have leads, and so they're trying to figure out how to market, right? You don't have to worry about that at Family First Life, because what we're seeing is they have multiple lead vendors, right? Multiple lead vendors. And this is important because as you as an agent, The last thing you want to do is come into a business model where you have to pretty much man everything, right? Like, as an agent, you just want to get in, you want to get licensed, you want to buy leads, you want to call those leads, book appointments, and you want to go write policies. Well, with an older model, you don't have that opportunity, right? With Family First Life, they have a ton of lead vendors, and that's what we're seeing. We're going, okay, they have a ton of lead vendors from Facebook ads, YouTube ads, right? Internet live leads. Let's put IL, right? There's a ton of different lead vendors that you can actually purchase leads from, and those leads come in pretty much in real time, and so you can actually take advantage of that, right? Last one, of course, the last two I should say, most of these other companies, there's a startup fee, right? So they want to pay a startup fee just to join, and then a lot of times they want you to pay a monthly fee to stay in the company. With Family First Life, you can see there is no startup fees, right? Zero startup fees. And then the biggest thing I've learned about this industry and what I've noticed with Family First Life is these other companies, they want you to be captive, right? And what that means is once you sign a contract with them, even though they tell you that you're an independent contractor, once you sign a contract, if you want to leave that company, you can't leave until 6 months. Like, you got to let them know, and then you got to wait 6 months until they release you. And they may or may not release you in that time frame, right? So they tell you there's no contracts, you're independent, all this stuff, but you're not independent, right? You're captive. Here at Family First Life, no contracts. So basically, you're not tied to anyone, you're not locked in. If you don't like what you see, you don't like your experience, and in most cases, it seems like a lot of agents are loving the experience that they're having, you can leave without a problem. As long as you don't have any debt with the company will let you leave. So this is basically the difference that we're seeing with everyone else, 99% of the other I.M.Os, compared to Family First Life. So if you're actually looking for, a place to call home, and you want to know exactly what's going to be the best place for you to actually build a team, write a ton of business, and get compensated really well for it, then actually Family First Life is probably the place for you. Probably need to just take a look at it, take this into consideration, of course. This is all the benefits that you have with Family First Life. So if you want to know more about how you can actually get licensed and get contracted, start off at least 100% comp, you can click on the link in the description of this video. It'll take you to a short, quick survey. You can fill out the form, and someone from our team will actually reach out to you and looking to get you licensed and or contracted with Family First Life. So with that being said, I hope you got a ton of value from this video. Until next time, of course, I'll see you on the internet. Take care. Bye.